A new storm builds on the horizon, with thunder and lightning replaced by layups and jump shots.
Another one for Swin Cash.
The Seattle Storm, a 25-year history of excellence, where legends rain buckets and reign over the competition.
The Seattle Storm have climbed back to the mountaintop.
Where the superstars of tomorrow embrace their chance to shine bright and to inspire the next generation of players and fans alike.
Knock it down from out there. Why not?
Tonight, the WNBA and the entire sports world are on Storm Watch as a new era in Seattle sports history starts right now, right here on KOMO. Thanks for joining us tonight for Storm Watch, a KOMO sports special. If you haven't heard, it is an exciting day for us here at KOMO as we announce KOMO and KUNS as the new exclusive broadcast partners of the Seattle Storm.
So excited about this, Molly. No question about it.
Incredibly.
Yeah, you can't get the smile off my face. Now, this afternoon, the team itself posted this on X, writing, "A storm is coming to KOMO and KUNS. We're bringing Storm basketball to more fans across Washington than ever before." Now, over the next half hour, we'll be talking with team executives about the importance of this deal, as well as look ahead at the upcoming season and the boom of women's sports, Molly, in our region.
But first, let's take a closer look at what this deal means for Storm fans. Our CW station, KUNS, will air 33 Storm games this season, including 3 games against the defending champ, New York Liberty, and 2 games against Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever.
That's right, and 13 of those games will simulcast right here on KOMO TV, and KOMO will also be home to a nationally televised game. So much fun.
Oh, yeah. How much fun will it be, Nico? We get a front row seat to the next chapter of Storm basketball.
And that's just it. No question about it. The Storm is the most prestigious brand in the entire WNBA, an identity forged over the last 25 years, and somehow, even with all that history, Molly, the brightest days are still to come.
The final seconds, and the Seattle Storm has won their first ever WNBA title.
A championship tradition.
Super throws the ball high in Seattle. You have a champion once again.
A beacon of success, no matter what.
The Seattle Storm have climbed back to the mountaintop.
A reputation unrivaled in the WNBA.
They are your 2020 WNBA champions.
A haven for superstar players coming from across the country and the world to wear that Storm uniform. The best to ever do it. The years go by, the championships roll in, the faces may change, but one thing remains the same. The Storm has always been there. A force in the W, a title-laden past with an unimaginably bright future. It continues now, right here with KOMO. Can we play some games tomorrow? How exciting is all this? Let's take a look now at the Seattle Storm by the numbers. They played 25 WNBA seasons, debuting as an expansion team in 2000. How about 15 winning seasons as a franchise? The Storm winning 4 WNBA championships, 2004, 2010, 2018, and 2020. That is tied for the most ever in WNBA history. And of course, those title runs included 2 Western Conference crowns along the way otherwise. And of course, the Storm has retired 2 jerseys in franchise history. The GOAT, number 10, right? Sue Bird, and of course, number 15 of Lauren Jackson, Molly.
Tonight, we are so happy to be joined by Nate Silverman, the Chief Commercial Officer of the Seattle Storm. Nate, this is such an exciting time. I know for the team, but certainly for us here at KOMO. Can you walk us through how this deal came together?
Yeah, we're thrilled to be here, Molly and Nico. And by the way to wear your Storm swag today, looking good. So when we started to think about the next evolution of Storm basketball and a TV partner, we were looking for someone who aligned with our values, someone who really wanted to have an impact on the community and tell the stories of our players and the work we're doing in the community. And of course, for our fans, we wanted more access. We wanted to grow the game. We wanted to grow the ability to watch Storm basketball. KOMO and the CW were the perfect partner for that, and we're just so thrilled to be here.
And we're thrilled to be with you. Obviously, the Storm, we talked about the history a minute ago. It's just synonymous with greatness, but also we're talking about the W being on the rise, and certainly this is a great time for us to link up. What about the rise of women's sports as a whole, but also the skyrocketing trajectory that the W's on right now?
No question. It's been unbelievable, and the Storm are no exception. The WNBA and women's sports has grown tremendously. Just in the last year, the growth has been off the charts. And as we look at our business and the way that we measure success, Everything was a record-breaking year last season. Attendance, ticket sales, merchandise, corporate partnerships. So things are just really, really taking off. And we feel like this is just the tip of the spear. You're all joining at a great time.
We know that people are excited to be able to watch the games right here on KOMO and on the CW, but nothing beats going to a game in person. And to celebrate this new partnership, I understand you have a deal for our KOMO viewers. Tell us about the promotion.
We do. And, you know, before I do that, I can't forget that I've got a jersey that I wanted to present to you both
now,
here.
we have
kick off.
Look
This
at
will
this.
fit you, Nico.
Look
This
at
will
that.
fit you.
KOMO on the back.
KOMO on the back.
That's as close to the pros as I'm ever going to get. But look at this. This is like our GM draft day thing. How exciting is this?
Thank you, Nate.
Best logo in the league, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. We worked hard on that.
We're ready for this. We're so excited.
Yeah. So, Molly, you asked about games. So we actually started a pre-sale, single game ticket pre-sale that started today on Ticketmaster. Go to Ticketmaster, look up your favorite Storm game, type in the promo code STORM2025.
There you have it. And it's one of those things, too. We saw it last year, but we've seen it for so many years. Your fans are the most passionate, not just in the W, but all of sports. And to see that place filled, obviously just the last few years in the new arena, how special is it? Game day, there's nothing like it. And you can feel that energy, of course, through the broadcast, too.
Yeah, absolutely. It just gives you goosebumps being in the building. It's actually one of my favorite things about working in sports is the game day, the atmosphere, the fans bring the energy. So all of those things combined make it good. And we've got a good squad on the court. We're going to have a competitive season. Our GM, Talisa Rios, coming up next.
Yeah, we'll be talking to Talisa about all of that, Nate. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining us, Chief Commercial Officer for the Seattle Storm.
Take another look at this, right?
Yeah, love that.
Look at
that.
Shout out to Nico for the pocket square, too. Can we get a close-up?
Even trade, pocket square for jersey?
Yeah.
We love it. Thank you, Nate.
Today, many women are here watching the NCAA women's basketball tournament, but coming up, the Seattle Storm, right on KOMO. I'm Denise Whitaker with more on how people think this may help encourage more young ladies to get involved in sports.
This is where the magic happens.
And a little later, senior reporter Chris Daniels tours the Storm headquarters, how a gamble in the Emerald City became a jewel for the entire WNBA to envy. Welcome back to Storm Watch, a KOMO Sports special, as we celebrate our new broadcast partnership with the Seattle Storm. The Storm play their first home game of the 2025 season here at Climate Pledge Arena May 4th. It's a preseason game that you can see right here on KOMO and KUNS. One of the easiest ways to expose girls and young women to sports is to encourage them to watch other female athletes.
Absolutely, Molly. And our new partnership with the Storm means more exposure for the team with aspiring young athletes. KOMO's Denise Whitaker talks with sports, of course, with basketball fans catching the women's March Madness.
Exposure is everything. You know, the more you see it on TV, the more you can be like, oh, I want to do that. Like, that's something I might be interested in.
Yeah, that makes sense. Seeing someone that looks like you doing something is definitely something that makes it seem more real.
This is day 2 for profiler and Samantha Sage catching the NCAA Women's March Madness games at the Rough and Tumble Pub in Ballard.
So many young girls need to see it to believe it.
I feel like that absolutely can motivate young girls more.
There's anticipation this new greater exposure of the Seattle Storm may lead more young women to play sports or become referees or coaches.
There's a big gap and lots of opportunity out there. So this is going to be one of our priorities going forward.
Beth Knox tells me it's important to keep exposing girls to all levels of sports so they don't leave it behind.
There is a huge percentage of young girls that drop out of sports in middle school.
That could be from body image or other insecurities, but even just watching female athletes up on the screen could help squash some of that and help these young women continue to reap all the benefits that come with playing a sport.
I think sports is just a critical foundation of who we become as individuals and professionals and making our place in the world.
Those skills of teamwork, discipline, learning and practicing strategy, along with remaining active, can really help build a foundation for a lifetime of successes. In Seattle, Denise Whitaker, KOMO News.
In addition to us now bringing the Storm into your living rooms, Nico, there are many other opportunities. We're so lucky you can watch local female athletes in other sports, too.
No question about it. Seattle is just perfect for this. The city also, of course, has the Seattle Reign FC, Salmon Bay UFC, and, of course, the West Seattle Roadies FC. So much. We are a haven for women's sports, and, of course, we're happy to celebrate that tonight. Still ahead on Storm Watch.
This is where the magic gets made. I'm Chris Daniels inside the Seattle Storm's team headquarters and training facility. We'll tell you why this has put the Storm on the map across the entire country.
Welcome back to Storm Watch, a KOMO sports special in Maui as we celebrate our new broadcast partnership with the Seattle Storm.
The city's franchise is now one of the most valuable in the league, thanks in part to a multi-million-dollar gamble in Seattle's Inner Bay neighborhood. KOMO senior reporter Chris Daniels takes us inside the Storm's shiny team headquarters and training facility that has risen above the rest.
When you put a building like this in, it separates you from other franchises.
In an atmosphere with so much competition,
You enter what we call the Hall of Champions.
Seattle Storm co-owner Lisa Brummel
How many other buildings can you walk in and see 4 championship trophies?
admits she and her fellow owners took a leap of faith.
You have to take the risk on the investment because you believe it will pay off. We took the risk.
Fresh off a 2020 WNBA championship, the Storm's owners decided to spend $64 million and attempt something new, building a facility
This is where the magic happens.
that would be a WNBA first.
They're really lovely. You have to remember, we came from Seattle Pacific University on the court that was in the basement. One court. Good or bad, it was one court. You'll notice we've got some cameras up here. Really important. We are able to track the players' performance at each practice, and they can track their own if we're not here. It's all done through facial recognition and player identification. It's really the cameras that allow us to track how many shots you take, where you take them from, the angle of your knees. Are you making your shots from this area or that area?
The 50,000 square foot performance center and team headquarters opened in 2024 as interest in the league skyrocketed nationally, and the value of the franchise did too, now marked by sports business experts as one of the top 2 most valuable franchises in the W at $150 million, alongside the Las Vegas Aces that also have their own training facility.
We see now that everybody else is trying to catch up.
Rory Titcomb is the Storm's chief operating officer.
When you have a performance center like this, what does that mean for the growth of the franchise, just in terms of the quality of the play?
Technology is another really important part of how we make our growth durable.
There's a lot of new fans. How do you take advantage of that?
I think it starts with the basketball, and I think we're in a really, really great position.
Titcomb says it has also helped the Storm expand community programs and recruit talent on and off the court.
You notice the floor we're walking on?
Yeah, it's nice.
This is the old Key Arena floor. This is the floor in which we won our 2004, 2010, and 2018 championships.
A place built by women for women.
I'm with KOMO.
Amazing.
Your new partner.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Raising the game.
This is primarily strength and conditioning in here. And behind that, there's an aquatics area.
A neighborhood, too.
It's really just a very special kind of thing.
One step, one Storm at a time. In Seattle, Chris Daniels, KOMO News.
Oh, we appreciate that, Chris. That was a lot of fun to look at. Now, here's a question. How many of you remember the very first draft pick in franchise history? That distinction goes to Kamila Vodakova of the Czech Republic, who, of course, the Storm selected with the 9th overall pick that year. Now, the Storm have had the #1 pick 4 times in its history, including back-to-back top picks in 2001 and 2002, when they selected a couple of players. You might have heard of them. Not quite sure about that. Lauren Jackson and Sue Bird. Now, of course, the Storm this year has the 2nd overall pick in the 2025 draft. We're so excited about that, Molly.
The Storm played their first game as a WNBA franchise on May 31st of 2000, falling to the Sacramento Monarchs on the road. A night later, they had their home opener at Key Arena in front of more than 10,000 fans, losing to the 3-time defending champion Houston Comets. The Storm dropped their first 4 games before notching their first win as a franchise. And we're joined now by the general manager of the Seattle Storm, Talisa Ria. Talisa, when you see some of that archival footage, first of all, Sue Bird looked like a baby in that, didn't she? First draft, first game. How does it make you feel about how this franchise has grown over the decades?
Yeah, it's incredible to see the history and just the success that the Storm has sustained from, you know, the early years all the way to where we are now, just the legacy that we're so proud to represent with the Storm.
And we mentioned a moment ago, you have that 2nd pick, of course, the rich history of drafting players for this franchise. This is really just an exciting opportunity, no question, for this team.
Absolutely. We know how impactful a lottery pick can be for an organization, and we're hopeful that this year is no different. We're really confident there's a lot of talented players in this draft, and we're going to add someone who really complements the rest of our team well.
The Storm always seem to be in the hunt for the playoffs, for the championship, for that matter. Obviously, that has a lot to do with the players, the coaching, but the whole organization matters. Can you speak to that, about how you have built this organization with such a championship mentality?
Absolutely. It starts with our ownership group and, the standard that they've set for us, the expectations and the culture that they've established. We expect a high level of excellence across the board, and our team has really adopted that mindset as well. Our players, our coaching staff, everyone knows to rise to that occasion.
One of the things I'm struck by, first of all, is you head into this new era with this team, yet there's veterans, superstars all over the place. Sky, Nneka. I can't believe Ezzy's only 25 for how long she's been playing and succeeding at this level. When you look at this roster, the makeup of these players, I mean, they're tough as nails. They're so fun to watch. And then you have a draft pick like that coming up. Like, how excited is it to see all that kind of mesh together this way?
It's a great opportunity for us. A lot of times when you're adding a lottery pick, you don't have those other pieces on your roster for them to be able to complement. And so we're really excited top to bottom what this roster can be. The core four that we return, and, Nneka, Ezzy, Skylar, Gabby, and then free agents that we brought in, and now the opportunity to add another really great piece. So we can't wait for a season to get rolling.
I know that you have worked your own way up through women's sports to be in this position of being a GM, but you were a player. You've been down there in the nitty-gritty and all levels of basketball. What message do you have to any young girls, women watching this tonight, about the importance of women's sports here in Seattle?
Absolutely. I think it can open doors in a lot of ways that you might not think is possible, and I think just to believe in yourself and just to take advantage of every opportunity.
One of the things I'm always struck by, we know Seattle is a basketball city, and it's the Storm that has carried that torch, right? I mean, what does that honor mean to you all? We see Climate Pledges packed every home game. The fans are having a good time, but you guys have really made this basketball city fall in love and carried that torch for 2 decades plus now.
It means so much. The city is incredible, and the support and really the grassroots basketball that's here in Seattle, and how that extends all the way up through us now as the professional sports team. Basketball team here in the city. It's a great honor, and we feel the support night in and night out.
Well, we're so glad to hear that. And Talisa, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Talisa Rhea, General Manager for the Storm. We are so excited to kick off this broadcast partnership. So good luck in that upcoming draft.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back.
Here is one final look at Climate Pledge Arena, where the Seattle Storm tip off the home portion of the 2025 WNBA regular season on Friday, May 23rd against the Phoenix Mercury. Today, KOMO and KUNS are proud to announce a multi-year partnership to broadcast Storm games.
Absolutely. 33 games will air on KUNS, the home of the CW. 13 of those games will be simulcast right here on KOMO TV. Now, KOMO will also air a nationally televised game featuring the Storm battling Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever.
Single game tickets go on sale soon, and this is an exclusive pre-sale offer for KOMO viewers. Go to Ticketmaster.com with the code STORM2025 to unlock the pre-sale. Nico, I'm sorry you are not eligible to play.
I just told Talisa I'm the biggest waste of the second round, second overall pick ever. But hey, we love the jersey. We are so excited about this. The Storm is amazing. We can't wait to bring you all these games all year.
Thanks again for joining us tonight. And tomorrow on ARC Seattle at 9:30, they'll welcome Storm Chief Marketing Officer Will Goley for another special announcement. See you at 11.
Go Storm.